Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Today, we're going to be taking a look at a clip of a fat activist getting angry that nobody would push her up the hill in her wheelchair at the airport. It's J-Bay, and this is basically a part 2 to a video I made earlier in the week about her getting wedged into the seat on the airplane. We're also going to be taking a look at a bonus clip where somebody says skinny people don't know how to talk to fat people, so be sure to stick around until the end. Before we proceed, please click the like button so that I may apply comb to mustache.
Alright, listen up, it's your girl Jay, and I got something to say right now, right here.
Right here, right now.
Today, I want to go ahead and talk about SeaTac Airport. You hear that plane? Well, I'm staying right outside SeaTac right now at an incredible hotel that I've gotten to partner with.
Got to partner with means we told them we have over 100,000 followers on TikTok. Give me a free room.
But I have something to say, and I think you want to hear it.
I think you're being a little presumptuous. Sorry for that.
If you're familiar with my experience at SeaTac where they refused to push me in a wheelchair, you saw that video, and they refused to push me because I was too fat.
We actually have referenced this situation in the past in a video, but we didn't make a whole video about this situation, so here we are.
And they had absolutely no consideration for my physical health, my well-being, my needs, none of the above.
All right, what about the well-being of the person that you wanted to push you uphill in a wheelchair?
Well, I thought maybe I was the only person that happened to experience that, and it was just something that was really uncommon. And then I talked to someone incredible in our community, and they're a much smaller fat person than I am, and they experienced the same damn thing.
Nobody would push them uphill in a wheelchair either because they can actually use their own legs also. The discrimination just keeps getting worse and worse, dude.
Then I talked to someone else who has also experienced something very similar.
Dang, SeaTac, how many obese people are you not pushing in wheelchairs? Alright, so I'm starting to see a pattern. SeaTac, what are you doing?
And you know what? Enough is enough.
Enough is enough. You guys need to start pushing people uphill in wheelchairs more often. That honestly sounds insanely dangerous if you slip a little bit and the chair rolls backwards. Also, I've seen you walk countless times, so maybe you should walk.
If you've ever had a bad experience with SeaTac, we would love for you to come out and be part of the protest. Let's show them that they cannot treat people like this. They cannot treat anyone like this, and they cannot treat fat people like this.
What do you mean treat you like this? Make you use your own legs? What about the person that's pushing you? They're using their own legs to push you because you won't use yours. Yeah, I don't understand how we can be upset with somebody else for not pushing us using their legs when we won't even use our own legs. You know, like, you didn't even want to use your own legs. Can you blame them for not wanting to push you in this wheelchair? Pushing something uphill is infinitely more difficult than pushing it on level ground, and it's also dangerous. It gets more dangerous the heavier that object is that you're trying to push uphill, because if you slip or something, it comes rolling right back down and crushes you.
This is unacceptable and it's discrimination, and it will not be tolerated any longer.
What are you going to do about it? Are you going to get up and start a march in protest? Or do we have to have people push our wheelchairs for this protest? We have to hire a bunch of wheelchair pushers to facilitate this protest.
So if you want to be a part of this protest, DM me tonight, DM me tomorrow, but let's go ahead and make it happen. We will be at SeaTac Airport Tuesday, February 4th. If you want to protest at SeaTac and
I believe I saw a video clip of that protest. It was just her and some other chick.
solidarity with me, come on by. If you see me at SeaTac, please come up and say hello. Stand in solidarity with
I will definitely be at that protest.
us. SeaTac will be held accountable for their actions. We will not stand for this any longer.
We won't stand. Period. Apparently.
If you've had an experience like this, please share it with me via DM or drop it in the comments. Let's start the conversation.
One time, dude, I had to use my own legs to get from point A to point B, and it was very traumatic. I still wake up in a cold sweat at night thinking about it.
This needs to be talked about.
Alright, so as we just learned from that video clip, it's discrimination that they wouldn't push J-Bay uphill in a wheelchair and she had to use her own legs. God forbid. I'm gonna start calling it discrimination when I have to do anything for myself. It's discrimination that I had to brew this pot of coffee myself. What? Nobody did this for me? What? It's discrimination that I have to comb my own mustache. There should be somebody doing this for me. You guys hate people in mustaches, huh? That's the problem here, is that you just want me to stop living. That's what's happening. We looked at this the other day, but let's take a brief look at that protest once again.
About discovery. It was about action.
Here we go.
At the Portland airport, I protested for the fair treatment of fat travelers,
Here's the one person that showed up to join you in your protest.
with others joining me in solidarity.
Others? You mean other. All right, let's take a look at another clip of that protest. SeaTac denies wheelchair assistance to fat people. This is discrimination. SeaTac violates our rights. Hashtag wheelchair access for all. Okay, they violated your rights by not pushing you. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that was quite the protest, how you stood there with the sign for 10 seconds. I love how one person showed up for that. We saw in a previous video, she's like, show up and protest with me, and then we see that one person actually did. It's completely insane to start a protest and call it discrimination because somebody wouldn't push you uphill in a wheelchair. I don't really believe that this story happened, but if it did, you can't really blame that person for not wanting to push you if you don't even want to push yourself. You're like, I'm not strong enough to push myself up this hill. Okay, but this other person is. And we've seen J-Bay get up and walk on a few occasions, so we know that they can do it. That's what makes this whole situation even more ridiculous. Personally, I don't buy the whole invisible illness story. I think that's just an excuse that's being made up so nobody can question us. I'm guessing what's causing this is an illness that's fairly visible. Next.
Can someone please explain to me why it is that skinny people just don't know how to talk to fat people in a normal way? I
All skinny people.
swear this is a thing and it's so strange.
I don't know why. I'm sorry for that. We're just kind of awkward and dumb, dude. Like, we just don't know what the hell's going on. Please enlighten us.
But I truly think only other fat people would understand this. Skinny people really make a big deal out of being fat, when they're kind of trying to be nonchalant about it, and it's weird. And I guess I never really talked about it because I feel like I don't think that the skinny people necessarily have bad intentions here. This happens to me all of the time. If I say that I'm fat, and I'm not saying it in a way where I'm like, oh my god, I look so fat, I'll literally just be saying it in a like matter-of-fact context. They'll be like, this store won't have my size because I'm fat, and like they'll be like, oh my god, you're not fat. Who are you trying to fool here? I wonder.
They're trying to be nice. I know that you guys are trying to use the term fat in a neutral way, but everybody else sees it as an insult. We're not really getting mad at people for trying to be nice to us and spare our feelings, are we? Man, they're definitely not gonna have my size because I'm fat. You're not fat, you're beautiful. Don't say that about yourself. This motherfucker. Dude, I'm fat, okay? I'm very, very fat, you moron! How dare you say I'm not? Ah! I was just trying to be nice, you bastard! That's right, moron, I'm fat as hell, and you will refer to me as such. Alright, fatty, leave me alone! Fatty? What the hell is that supposed to mean? I said fat! Alright, you fat, stop hitting me! My back and forth skits are a lot different than William's. I never win in mine. He at least has the sense to make himself win.
I understand why that is a skinny person's response. Like, that is such.
Cause they're being nice. Are you serious? When you're like, man, I'm so dumb, somebody's supposed to be like, yeah, you are. And it's good that you're embracing it. Like, what?
A weird thing to say. I get it because I think they're conditioned from like their other skinny friends being like, oh, I look so fat, as like, you know, a way to be like, no girl, you look great. It's actually really fucked up when you say it to a person who is fat and is like acknowledging the fact that they're fat in just like a casual way.
Well, this whole calling ourselves fat thing, like, literally just popped up overnight, so forgive the world for not immediately embracing it. It's kind of difficult for people to make the leap, right? Yesterday, fat was an insult. Today, it's empowering. Like, what? No, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. And a lot of people aren't willing to make that leap just immediately because some random person online said so, right? Like, hey guys, we're using this term like this from now on. Really? Okay, random stranger, I guess I'll change the way I speak from now on. Like, it's real silly that you guys think that's happening. Yesterday, guys, we decided that the word fat is neutral from now on. Okay? Me. A person who just got here yesterday has decided that this word has a brand new meaning now. All of you older people that have been using this word in a negative light for your entire lives, knock it off. I still think it's an insult, and I still think that everybody else thinks it's an insult as well. We're not really taking the power back. Rage Against the Machine. Zach De La Roca, calm down.
It is really weird to me when people say that back. It's not a question if I'm fat. It was a statement. Like,
right, you're playing a weird-ass little game, dude. Like, back in the day when people would say, oh, I feel so fat, they were literally begging one of their friends to say, no, you're not, dude. And now we're playing some other weird little game. Nobody can just be genuine and honest about their intentions or what they actually feel. Nobody can show their, like, soft emotions on the inside. Everybody has to make up all these lies, like, I don't care what anybody thinks. I love this negative thing. Like,
it was literally, like, factual. Skinny people's favorite thing to do also, if you bring up being fat, kind of in general, or...
I love this makeup look, by the way. The old, I opened a cabinet into the side of my face right here. I'm sorry, I'm clearly an idiot. I don't know anything about makeup. I'm sure she's gonna blend it in and turn that whole side of her face a different shade. I don't know.
Or even sometimes you don't even actually have to bring up your weight at all for them to say this, but they feel the need to tell you that losing weight is so easy. All you have to do is just portion control.
Okay, so they're trying to encourage you by giving you advice on the thing that they have accomplished in the past.
Eat a little healthier, eat a little less, and just exercise a little, like get your body moving. Their inflection sounds like they're saying something revolutionary.
I'm not saying that anybody should go around trying to push their ideas onto others or whatever, but if you have accomplished weight loss and you're hanging out with your friend who's been struggling with this thing for years, you might give them some advice, you know, if we're friends, right, bestie? I mean, don't we talk like that?
I truly believe that they are the first person to tell me that I need to exercise and eat less to lose weight. Like, do you think that fat people don't know how to lose weight?
Okay, so fat people do know how to lose weight. They just don't feel like it because of all the perks that you guys constantly mention that come with being obese. Like how nice everybody treats you, all the systemic yada yada yada, the medical fat phobia. I can see why we would not want to lose weight and why we are actually choosing this. No, that makes a lot of sense.
You're wrong. We do.
We do. We're just choosing this because it's so fun. I have nothing but complaints about my weight and how everybody else treats me in the entire system and yada yada yada, and I'm choosing to be obese. I do know how to lose weight though. I love all of this stuff that I keep complaining about constantly. Okay. That's a little odd. Is your ego so big that you can fail at something continually and then still proclaim yourself an expert? That is absolute insanity, my friend.
It feels a little bit like skinny people kind of talk down to you if you're fat. Like they talk to you like you're a child, and I've never understood this either because it's...
No, if they've accomplished this thing and you haven't, then they're speaking to you in that manner. If you're struggling to learn Spanish and I am fluent, I might give you some pointers, right?
Just, I don't know. Just sometimes the way that they say things feels a little, like, dehumanizing. I think, like,
I can understand where you're coming from. Like, you don't want somebody talking down to you, like, oh, you're dumb, you don't know how to lose weight, da 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 da. So, I don't want to come off like I'm not getting her point there. I definitely do. If somebody is trying to help you and they are your friend, they shouldn't be talking down to you or belittling you, and they shouldn't be giving you weight loss advice unless you actually want it.
Many people are so, like, afraid of our fatness or of offending us about our fatness. Sometimes it honestly just is counterproductive and makes it more uncomfortable. Anytime, like, I want to casually, like, bring up my fatness or a weight loss journey or...
Why are we casually bringing up our fatness or a weight loss journey? What? Hold on. Did you just say I want to bring up my fatness or a weight loss journey? And then you were just complaining about your friends giving you weight loss advice. Okay, so in this little hypothetical situation, you've been talking about how you're fat and also your weight loss journey, and then you're going to get offended when your thin friend gives you weight loss advice. Bro, you literally brought up the topic of weight loss, and then your friend tried to give you advice on the topic, and you're like, why are you telling me this? Why are you giving me weight loss advice, you moron? All I did was bring it up, and you've actually accomplished it. Why would you give me advice?
Like, whatever. It's it's almost like I can't do it without it just being kind of awkward. And like,
well, maybe we should stop bringing up our fatness. This is really just an insecure display, and you're projecting and pretending like you're okay with it. But every time you randomly bring it up, it's confirming that you're not okay with it, and you feel very bad about it.
Uncomfortable, and it's just because skinny people are kind of uncomfortable. Like,
well, no, you're making this weird display pretending that you're not insecure about this thing that you're very insecure about. If you weren't, you wouldn't bring it up. So it must be insanely uncomfortable to be friends with you when you start going on one of these weight-related tirades. Because we all know what it is, right? I just want to be like, hey, Becky, whatever your name. You don't need to feel bad about your weight, and you don't need to constantly bring it up to try to justify it to me or yourself or the room or whatever. We could just live our lives, you know? That's what I would say.
Acknowledging that you're fat, which is weird, because it's like, I know you're trying to do it in a nice way, and like, you're trying to be like, no, like, I don't see you as fat, but it's just like,
So your friends don't want to talk about weight, they just want to hang out and be normal people, and you are obsessed with talking about being fat, and you insist that they talk about it as well. You're making this friendship insanely awkward, dude. Like,
rather you just see me as a person. I don't know. Does that make sense? If you're a fatty, I want to know if you relate to this, because honestly, it drives me a little crazy. And if you're a skinny person talking to fat people, just treat them how you would treat anybody else. I don't know, like, that sounds crazy that I have to explain that, but you would be surprised.
it sounds like you won't stop bringing up your weight, calling yourself fat, talking about how you're trying to lose weight in front of your skinny friends, and then you get upset when they don't react in the way that you want. For a lot of people, calling somebody else fat is very awkward and very insulting, so they don't want to do it. Also, if you bring up your weight loss journey and somebody else has actually lost weight, they might give you some tips. It just makes sense. That's typically what people that are decent human beings do. When you accomplish something and you've learned some shortcuts, some tips and tricks, you typically go and share those with other people to make it a little bit easier for them. If you're a decent person, typically. It's funny that at the end there she said just treat your fat friends like anybody else, when it sounds like you're the one that wants to focus on weight and all this weird stuff continually. So obviously I disagree with all of the aforementioned, but what do you think? Is SeaTac Airport fat phobic because they wouldn't push J-Bay up the hill in a wheelchair? Is it really a protest to stand there and hold a sign for 10 seconds? And why the hell won't my skinny friends call me fat? Leave a comment below. Happy Friday, everybody. Anyway, that about does it. Thanks for watching, commenting, liking, and subscribing. And I'll see you in the next one.